Prime Minister has really come under fire both internationally and back here at home over this plan. The major criticism is that this 128-page plan that was released yesterday was released without any modelling.
As soon as a Laggard over failing to address the climate crisis, Australia has promised it will achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050.
Prime Minister Scott Morrison made the long-delayed pledge after bargaining with resistant MPs within his government.
But his government is not planning to bring in legislation to hit the 2050 target. Australia is one of the world's biggest coal and gas producers and has been under pressure to reduce emissions.
Now, the fact that it took so long and has been left down to the wire with days before the summit tells you how complicated this process is and how politically divisive climate action is in Australia.
The Prime Minister announced a vibe today rather than a target.
And after 8 years in office, we've got a slideshow and a sideshow.
A promise of net zero emissions by 2050, but with no plan to actually legislate it. How is that going to work?
Well, basically, the government has just promised the status quo.
What do you make of the announcement today? I know you've been critical of the lack of detail around a target. Will that fly at COP in Glasgow?
Well, we had no alternative to do that. It would have been a diplomatic outrage.
What does it mean for Australia's standing and reputation if he goes into that room in Glasgow with nothing more than what's been announced today?
Well, look, he will, I'm sure everyone will be polite to him and smile and so forth, but he will not be received rapturously, let's face it.
Peter, it's been the political reality for Scott Morrison domestically, but internationally he's been under enormous pressure. Will it appease those critics?
No, it won't.
While the plan didn't bode well with the opposition, it did get the tick of approval from UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who will lead the International Climate Conference in Glasgow. Mr Johnson calling Australia's actions heroic and worthy of applause.
Now, they might not like how we're doing it, but we're getting the results. Okay. Australia's actions and results speak more than the words of others, and we're getting it done. Australians want it done, but they don't want to throw their livelihoods away at the same time.
Even David Attenborough's having a go at us. Blimey, that's embarrassing.
No, it's not. I'm not embarrassed at all when it comes to doing what's right by Australia.